Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, millionaires. I'm Suzana Mihailovic, and we're here for our Wednesday Millionaire Roundtable, half an hour of power. So Wednesdays at 12 o'clock, Australian Eastern Standard Time, every single Wednesday, we are here to talk about one thing. What's that one thing, millionaires? It starts with M. Why are you all here? Why have you joined the Millionaire Roundtable? Well, every single one of you has joined for a reason, and it's probably because you're attracted to the word millionaire. It's probably because you want more. You want more of the M, marvelous, the marvels, the magic, the money. So we are here every Wednesday to talk about money. And I share with you every single Wednesday at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time what I have learnt about money in the past 4.5 years of leading and being the founder of a very successful international company called Your Two Minds. So last Wednesday, who loved the session last Wednesday? I thought it was just fantastic. I was inspired to connect and share some ideas and concepts that I have learned from my incredible dear friend and mentor, Bob Proctor. And we shared some ideas from Bob's, best-selling book, You Were Born Rich. And I think that by far that is Bob's most powerful book that he's written. And Bob states, quoting Bob Proctor, he states that you were born rich. You just might be short of cash. So we're going to delve deeper into that principle and what I think that means and what I have learned about that statement and about money and about, bringing my annual income to a monthly income. So I used to, when I was in the corporate sector, I was around the six-figure mark, in terms of a salary, sometimes over the six-figure mark too. And I wanted to achieve, my vision was, replacing my annual income, making that a monthly income. And achieving that was absolute ease and flow when I did. Before I did that, I felt as though it was impossible. It would never happen for me. Somehow you had to be different to me to actually, have and run a successful company that turns over, that, does more than what I was earning in a whole year, in a month, and sometimes in a week too. And so there is so much that I have learnt that led to quantum leaps, led to absolute quantum leaps, and the floodgates started to open. And I remember when I first heard about Bob Proctor, he would always he would say a statement similar to, once the floodgates open, the money just flows in from everywhere. And I kind of believed that, but I didn't believe that that could happen to me, if I was completely honest, because most of my life, although I always had an above average salary, or most of my career, I had an above, average salary, I was living from paycheck to paycheck. I was, by the end of the 2 weeks, I was paid every fortnight. And by the end of the 2 weeks, it was like, oh my God, I don't want to have to redraw from my mortgage. I had a nice lifestyle, but I wasn't happy. I felt like I was basically in a dream from Monday to Friday, just unconscious, just to get through the week, just to make my money to pay for the mortgage and have a holiday every year, and basically survive. And I knew deep down that there was more. However, hearing, and you probably relate to me, you might be very, very similar to what I was, and sorry, there's something going on with my computer here. I hope that you can all hear me. It's going a little bit berserk, so I hope that it hasn't cut me out. Yes, so we're still live. I apologize about that. So, so you might relate to my story. You might be already earning, a great salary. I was earning a great salary, or you might not be. And you might be hearing all these coaches and people that have done it, and they say, do this and do that, and money comes quickly and it's easy. And if you're anything like I was, you probably want to believe that, but you can't see it happen for you because you might be feeling stuck, or you might be feeling in a rut, or you might be feeling, you might be feeling like, it's something that is impossible for you to do. Thank you, Tatiana, for letting me know that you can still hear and see me. That's fantastic. I'm glad that I'm back and that it didn't interrupt. So thank you so much. So, and this is one of the reasons why I was inspired to get on at 12 o'clock every single Wednesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time, just to share some of the learnings that I have had, some of the things that I have experienced that have led to my quantum leap and quantum leap and quantum leap, one after another. And one of the things that I learnt that there were a few things that I learnt that can help you if you are similar to what I was. And one of the things is that it is absolutely true that once the floodgates open, the money starts to flood in. And I've experienced that now, even though I didn't believe it. The other thing is that money is not difficult to attract. Okay, it's not difficult to have a lot of money. That was another belief that I had to change, because I came from a humble background, beautiful, beautiful family. We always had. We never went without, but I could see how hard my parents worked in factories, doing overtime just to pay off their mortgage quickly, and so that my brother and I can have everything we needed, all the food that we needed, school fees paid. My university fees were actually paid by my parents. Would you believe that? And they were just, middle class, but they just worked hard so that we could have, and we never went without. And even though we never went without, in primary school, I was sick and tired of wearing the Kmart runners. I knew that we were designed, we were created, even at that age, to be opulent, to have beautiful things. It was something deep inside me. And some of you can relate to this too. And even though we never, ever, ever went without, we had, a nice, comfortable home, food on the table, school fees always paid, anything. If I ever needed, extra, money when I was at school, university, it was always there. But what I saw was my beautiful parents working extremely hard to the point of the detriment to their own health. So we never went without. So the concept that I had in my mind was that money is hard to get. You have to work hard. You have to be exhausted in order to have. Okay. And what I learned is that is not true. That is not true. So we've got it wrong there. We've got it wrong. Okay. Because it is not hard. Money is ease and flow. Money is ease and flow. You were born rich. And what I learned is Bob Proctor was absolutely right in his book, You Were Born Rich, okay? You were born rich. You might be short of cash, but you were born rich. And you are rich now. And if I can do it, having the same doubts that you may have right now, that you have had possibly all your life, you can do it too. If it's possible for me, because, if you've had any of these doubts, if you're living from paycheck to paycheck, if you're tired of your work, if you know that there's something better, there's something more, that you should have more, that you shouldn't be in so much debt, whatever it is, okay? And you feel that it's never going to happen for you, I know where you are and I know how that feels because I've been there. But I also know that wherever you are, you can replace your annual income and make that into your monthly income. 100% hands down. If I could do it, thinking that, oh my God, it's never going to happen. You can do it too. That's 100%, because you and I are no different. You and I are no different. Okay, we have the same potential. So last week in the Wednesday Millionaire Roundtable, I took a few concepts from Bob's book, You Were Born Rich, okay? The first one was money is important. Money is important. The second one, money is a servant. And the third one is money must circulate. So money is important. How many of us, and you may have said it yourself, and I certainly said it myself too, and that's why I chose to go into the helping professions when I was younger. I thought, I have to be a good person. I have to be altruistic, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, I think we all should be kind. I think we all should be happy helping each other. But I associated that with not having a lot of money. Okay, so I associated that, the old thing that we say to ourselves, we don't need a lot of money. Okay, well, money is almost as important as breath, right? Because money is here to serve you. Money is here to give you the lifestyle that you want, that you deserve. Okay, the second one, money is a servant. So money should always be the servant. If you are worried about money, if you don't know how you're going to pay off your mortgage, if you're constantly in fear of, where is the next buck going to come from, then money is your master and you are a servant to money. You should never, ever, ever be a servant to money. Money is the servant. You are not. Okay, you are not. And if you are worried, one of the major causes of family breakdown in Western society and culture is what? Financial concerns, financial pressure. Families are breaking up because of financial concerns, because financial hardship. So money has become the master, and it should never, ever be the master. It should be your servant. You use money. Money should not use you, okay? Money's only purpose is for you to use it. It has no purpose. It is here to give you the experience that you want out of life. It's not the other way around. You've got to get that straight. And the third thing, and I think this was one that I actually learnt probably in the past 18 months, okay? I didn't really understand this. I had heard it, but I don't think I was applying it because I didn't really understand it. The third one is that money is an energy and it must circulate. So how often do we say, I really catch myself when I'm say this. I don't say it as often now. We say, I don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend money, or I've spent all my money. If you ever hear yourself say, I'm spending money, cancel that thought immediately. What happens when you are spending? Spending means that you are giving away and it's not coming back. Okay, so when you're spending the resources you have. And it is a limited mindset, right? So you've got a certain amount of resources, and if you spend them, those resources do not come back. So you've got the wrong idea of what money is. Okay, money is meant to circulate. It is an energy. So the energy that you're giving out, and if you're open to receiving that, it will come back to you. Not necessarily from that same person. We don't know how it's going to come back. We don't know where from. We don't need to know. We just need to give with the right energy, knowing that it's coming back tenfold. Okay, so it is an energy, and that leads us to having a prosperity consciousness. What is a prosperity consciousness? It's just that. It's what I have just shared with you. Okay, so often we think that we are limited and that our physical or material or lifestyle is limited as a result. So we think that there is a limited amount of money. So what I used to do is I would get my paycheck every second week from from the incredible organization that I worked for. And I want to reiterate, my employees were absolutely incredible. They do some incredible work. So I was honored to be working with them, but it just was not the right thing for me to be, for me in that role. What I'm doing now is my purpose, my spiritual purpose, and what I've been created to do. So prosperity consciousness, so limiting, so what that means is you either have a wealth and an abundant prosperity consciousness, or you have a lack. Okay, so money is not important. Money is hard work. I'm a servant to money. Money stresses me out. I spend money. These are all examples of a limited prosperity conscious, of a consciousness that is focused on your limits. So if you are focused on debt, if you are focused on how difficult it is to earn money, if you are focused on how on just your limited amount of salary. So when I was working in my job, that's what I was about to say, and I went off on a little bit of a tangent. So when I was working in my job, I was receiving a 6-figure package. It was really good money. It allowed me to go overseas. However, the fact that I was living from paycheck to paycheck, and I was thinking, wow, I only have, $2,000, $3,000, whatever, $4,000 every fortnight to pay for my mortgage, to whatever, to have the lifestyle that I want. How am I going to get by? It's not enough, even though it was an above average salary. I was thinking, how was I going to get by with the mortgage and everything, right? So that attached me to a limited money consciousness. I would design my life around that pay package. Okay, right? So I can't go on that 5-star trip that I want. I can't buy that beautiful handbag that I want. I can't pay off my mortgage. My life was structured around my paycheck rather than aligned with the abundance and infinite prosperity that I already had. So there is an infinite supply of energy. Energy is, and everything that we see on the physical is first and foremost an energy. So therefore, what that means is there's a limited supply for you and what you need in terms of money. Okay, you were born rich. You were born rich. Now you might be short of cash, but that does not mean that you were not born rich, right? You might have been born in poverty, but that does not mean that you were born rich. So what do we mean by you being born rich? It means having a prosperity consciousness. So about a month ago on the Millionaire Roundtable, my Wednesday Millionaire Roundtable, I asked you all a fundamental question, okay? And the question was, how many of you would sell your right arm for $1 million? For $1 billion? How many of you would do that? And I would say 100% of you would say, no way. What about your eye? No way. What about your tongue? What about your legs? Would you sell any part of you, for a million, for $1 billion, for $1 zillion? Absolutely not. You wouldn't, right? Why would you do that? Okay. So most of you would say no. Okay. So what does that mean? What does that mean? You are rich. You are prosperous already right now. Because wealth, the word wealth, wheel, right? Wheel. So wheel is a Welsh word, and the meaning of wheel is well-being in every way. Okay? So it starts from you. Do you have your arms, your legs, your sight, your hearing, your friends, your family, your health, your your job, whatever it is? This is a part of you being rich. okay? You have an infinite supply, even though you cannot see it on the physical. But you must be grateful and understand your prosperity starts with you asking yourself the question, would I sell my arm? Would I sell my leg? Would I sell my ear, my hearing? And if you say no to those, then you are prosperous, you are rich already, and you are abundant. Okay, let me ask you this question. How much air do we have to breathe? So how many breaths can you take before your breathing stops? There's no more breaths you can take. So it's infinite, right? It doesn't matter how many breaths you take. You trust that there is an infinite supply. You don't have to worry whether you'll continue to breathe, whether there'll be enough air for you, unless you're stuck in a room where there's not enough oxygen coming in. But generally, we're living your day to day, you're not worried for a second of where the next breath is going to come from. You just continue your life knowing that the next breath, that there is enough for you to breathe. So that is prosperity, that is richness, that is wealth. So if you trust that you're able to breathe, that there's enough oxygen, you must have that same alignment and that same trust that there is enough. And once you start to align yourself and you get into a state of gratitude. Now, I tell my clients that I'm not one to promote, gratitude lists and all that, because I think that gratitude is you can never overdo gratitude, but the way that it's taught, has become a pop culture kind of thing. Oh, just be grateful. Oh, just do your gratitude list. Have you done your gratitude list? So it's just, oh yeah, well, you need to be more grateful. Okay, it's kind of that type of thing, right? And people are not getting the results. So they do their gratitude list in the evening or whatever, and nothing really happens. So when I mean gratitude, it's really aligning yourself with the feeling of being grateful, with the feeling of the abundance and prosperity that you already have, with the knowing that there is an infinite supply. Okay, so there's an infinite supply in your breath. There's an infinite supply in energy. Energy you cannot extinguish energy. Okay, you cannot take away energy and keep it away. It's always there. You cannot kill energy. Okay, energy just is, and there's an infinite supply. Okay, and that energy has created your beautiful arms, your legs, your eyesight, and the money, the breath that you're taking. So there must be a trust on that there is enough. And rather than looking at your debts, and like what I was doing every fortnight, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to survive and have a lifestyle that I want with this, limit in my paycheck? And that was the thing that was blocking me from opening up to my abundance, from opening up to more. Okay, that was the thing that was blocking me. Rather than realizing that there's an infinite supply, and that I am prosperity already, and that I am grateful for the prosperity that I have and for the infinite supply for all of my needs. The other thing that I learned is that my paycheck was not coming from my agency. Okay, so this might challenge some of you. It might be the first time you've heard this, and if it does, that's okay. Just keep coming back. You will start to get it. Okay, please don't close yourself off from what I'm about to say, okay, because it's a different way of thinking about money. It's a different way of seeing things, and you may not have heard about this approach before and about what I'm going to share. So we are so conditioned to think that I was earning over $100,000 package at one stage in my career, and that's it. That's all it was, right? So so that was my supply, because it was coming from my job, and that's all I could have. Now, the revolution, the quantum leap in my thinking. So you must have a quantum leap in your thinking. You must change something and have a quantum change in your thinking before you have a quantum leap in your results. Okay, so the thinking that I changed, the new belief, the new understanding, the deeper awareness that I had was that my salary was not coming from my job, and we're all conditioned to think that. It was coming through my job. It was coming through my job. Okay, right? So my job is not God, it's not the universe. That because money is energy, because it is a higher intelligence, because it is, just like breathing, and there's an infinite supply. What I understood, it was just coming to me. I was attracting it, but it was coming through my job. And the more awareness I had, and the more I was aligned with my good, and the more I understood what money is, then more of it will come through the means it's meant to come through, whether it's through my job, whether it's through another means, another source, whether it's through some new clients, whether it's through someone gifting me money, whatever it is, it will come through the means it's meant to come through, and it will come through in the abundance, in the amount that I am aligned with. Okay, so I will go into that again at some future sessions, because I know for a lot of people that might be a completely new concept way out there, and it might be even a little bit difficult for you to understand the first time. So this is something that I will repeat so that you can start to really embed this and deeply understand this. And the understanding, the awareness sometimes does not come just from showing up to a Wednesday Millionaire Roundtable with Suzana once, okay? The awareness starts to open up more and more and more the more you listen, to and show up in the Wednesday Millionaire Roundtable. The more you listen to the information that I share, the more you open yourself up to the universal laws, to what's possible, to how it all works. Because we are not taught this at school. I am one that absolutely values education. I was very, very lucky to be brought up with parents that put my education first, and as a result, I'm not a housewife to the detriment of my poor mother, but they would always say, go and study first, go and study first. You can do whatever needs to be done after. So I was absolutely blessed to have a family, to have parents that valued my education so much. And like I said, it ended up paying for my first degree too, even though they were ordinary workers, and they were willingly, wanting to do that without me even asking. So I value education. I think education is very, very, very important. But even having studied psychology and then counseling at university and then business after that, I was not taught about this stuff. I was not taught about money. I was not taught about how the universal laws work. I was not taught about how to really tap into my full potential to have the quantum leap after quantum leap after quantum leap. So you are probably the same. This is not a part of our education system currently, and hopefully it will be in the future, but it doesn't look like it will be for a little while. So we must educate ourselves. If you are ignorant, the universal laws are still working against you, okay? So universal laws work regardless. Your mind is working regardless. Your higher faculties are working regardless, whether you are ignorant or whether you fully are aware. And I would encourage you to become more and more aware of my teachings, of what I teach, of the universal laws, of how your mind works, of how to connect with, having your quantum leap. Because the more aware you become, the more control you have with the results that you have in your life. So some of these concepts, because we're not taught about them at school, some of these concepts might be, might not be real for you. They might be hard to grasp the first time around. That's okay. Just keep showing up, because you're going to start to become more and more aware, and they're going to start to align and you're going to have a deeper understanding of them. Now, I am incredibly grateful that I get to do my gift and my purpose in life, which is lifting people to their higher potential, helping them get to where they want to go. That has always been my gift, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to do that now, and I'm able to teach and coach people. However, I am constantly learning, and I am constantly growing, and I am constantly becoming more and more and more aware of how to tap in, of how to get better in my craft. And so is Bob Proctor. So I spoke to him the other day, and he is still learning. I remember I was in a meeting with Bob Proctor and Price Pritchett. I've got Price's book here, U Squared, and Bob was in awe of Price Pritchett and was asking him questions, just like, we were, the small group of us that were in that meeting with them too. So this is a lifetime journey. The more you show up in this Millionaire Roundtable, the more you follow me, the more you learn, what I endeavor for you to actually learn and grow, the more you're going to see the results in your life. The deeper you'll go with the understanding. It's not, when I was at school, when I was in the workforce, I had the concept of read the book once, learn it so that you can pass an exam and you don't have to watch that lecture again. You don't have to learn it again. You don't have to go to that training again. Okay. So don't have the same syndrome that I had, where I would just attend something once and think, yeah, that's enough. Okay. It's not enough just to show up once and expect your whole life to change. It does not work like that. If, the greats like Bob Proctor and Price Pritchett are still learning, and you'll be in a meeting with Bob, or Bob will call, me sometimes, or send me a message and say, what are you doing about this? He's learning from us too. Okay. So if they have to do it, you have to do it too. Just keep going. It is worth it. You are worth it. Your life is worth it. So, so open up, show up, ask questions. That's the way you're going to get the most out of your life. That's how you're going to start to understand this more and more. And one thing that I also learned from Bob, don't invest your time on people that say that they've got the results and they'll show you the way, okay, when the results aren't there. Okay, always listen to people that do have the results, okay, that have done it in their life. And I've done it. I've achieved and exceeded many of my goals in a short time. And I'd love to hear more from you. I'd love to have you on board. I'd love to, have you asking me questions so that you can grow and develop and get so much more out of your life. Thank you so much. That was the Wednesday Millionaire Roundtable for today. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. And do not forget, we have the incredible, amazing, powerful, transformational Your Opulent Self 7-day master course coming up on the 19th of July. Make sure you register. I'll get Joe to put the link in the comments below. You do not want to miss this. Over and over and over again, people that attend Your Opulent Self say to me one thing that I hear over and over again: I did not believe that you can transform my life in 7 days. And boy, oh boy, I have experienced a transformation in the past 7 days. So if you want to even just test your opulent self, as long as you show up every single day for the whole masterclass, you will see changes in your life. You will see changes in your result. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you show up? It's absolutely free for the Millionaire Roundtable Facebook members. You have one of my highly trained and trusted advisors to have a goal setting call with you and to support and help you for the duration of the masterclass. Join us. It is free. And if you want change, if you want better results, then I would suggest starting with your opulent self, the most powerful masterclass that you have attended. I promise you that. Thank you so much. I'll see you next Wednesday, and I look forward to learning more about you at your opulent self. Yay, 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 yay. Have a great day. Bye-bye.